Today is a cosmic reset by far. Today we have our new moon in Libra, giving us a little bit of imbalance today, plus a solar eclipse that is happening also today, on top of the second largest solar flare that we have had in solar cycle 25, this X7.1. I'll let you know when that's going to hit Earth. Solar activity reached high levels yet again with this X7.1 solar flare from region 3842 on our sun. It sent us into a type 2 radio blackout and it gave us a 10 centimeter radio burst. A CME was observed. The majority of this ejecta is going to be off the southeastern limb. However, a halo shock is expected to arrive early to midday on October 4th to the 5th. We have 11 sunspots on our sun today. We are going to take a look at 3 of them because they are going to be very active already. 3842, that gave us that X-class solar flare. We're also going to take a look at this one right in the middle of the sun, which is 3841. And then lastly, we're going to look at our new region 3848. Here's a more in-depth look at what the sun looks like. So as you can see, these are a little bit more complex. So let's get into them. This is region 3841. This one is directly connected in the middle of the sun to Earth, so there is a tethered and a pole there. Now, this is in beta and gamma range. It is going up in size quite a bit, although the number of sunspots has kind of remained about the same. But look at these percentages: a 10% chance of having an X-class flare from here, 10% proton levels, which is raising that chance of going into those solar radiation storms, which is a high probability, just so everybody knows. And we're getting some M-class flares from here as well, so we need to watch out for this one. We also need to watch out for 3842, which is this region. This region gave us the second largest solar flare in solar cycle 25. I already did a video on the Carrington event. This is going to happen. We all know it. It's in beta, gamma, and delta configuration, meaning it's very complex right now, and it is growing in size. It is now Earth directed, which is not a good thing, guys. We have a large geomagnetic storm that is going to be coming due to that X solar flare that we just had, and we have a 25% chance of having another one from here. So back-to-back geomagnetic storms and weakened magnetic fields, not the best combination. However, it's going to upgrade your DNA, but you might feel physically drained and just completely out of it, especially with this solar eclipse new moon energy in Libra. We're going to try to have a really, it's going to be weird. It's going to be an imbalance, but let's look at the proton level. Another 25% added onto that. So those solar radiation storms, which is going to make you feel heavy and you're going to have more physical effects due to it, is going to be a higher chance of having that. And we're also having some M-class flares from here. Now this M3.6, it also sent out a second CME, so they may be back to back, although yet again the majority of the ejecta is going to be off of the southeastern limb due to the location of this, but we are going to have a very large effect of this. Make note, October 4th, October 5th, let's get into it, because we do have some plasma ejecta that is coming our way. This is 3848. This is a new region that we have a long time on the sun with. Note that it's already at a 5% chance of having an X-class flare from this region. Proton percentage, 5% for this as well, and we're getting M-class flares. There have been several coronal mass ejections associated with this region, and it is growing. And don't forget to watch my part 1 and my part 2 that I just posted about the Carrington event. You guys need to know this because it is coming. Now let's check the coronal hole, because we do have it tethered to that too, and it is right here. Now within the next coming of days, it is going to start becoming Earth facing around the time that we have the geomagnetic storm, which it will connect itself to Earth and have this stream of a lot of solar winds. So it's going to pick up and it's going to increase those geomagnetic storms. This is why it's a big deal. These white squiggly lines are called filaments. They are lifted above the sun's atmosphere, and if there is enough pull, they will eject themselves. And this becomes a factor for geomagnetic storms as well. And as you can see, they are splintered all over the sun around those active regions as well. So if we have a coronal mass ejection radiation from an active region, these filaments can also lift off as a probability of that, increasing those chances as well. And now here's our solar flare threat. We're already at that 35% proton level, getting us a little bit nervous to slip into those minor solar radiation storms when we have that proton levels can really make you feel completely off and cognitively not really able to function. So that's always a really big deal. Another big deal are these X-class solar flares, 35% from those 3 regions stacked on top of each other, and they're becoming a lot more magnetically complex, which is increasing those solar flare probabilities. M-class flares, we're already getting C-class flares. This is active. These are a list of the top solar flares in solar cycle 25. Look at this already today. So we had that X7.1 making this the second largest solar flare in solar cycle 25. We did have an X14. Yes, we did, on the opposite side of the sun. That did affect us. So that technically was the largest one. However, it was not Earth facing. Can you imagine if it was Earth facing? These are a problem, guys. Yet again, reminder, you need to watch part 1 and part 2. I have a part 3 coming out about the Carrington event. We need to prepare. Do you think we're ready? Because I'm going to say that we're definitely not ready. Nobody is ready. We're kind of sort of mentally getting ready, but we're still not physically ready. But let's talk about the 3-day geomagnetic forecast because it is going to increase. So today it is going to be low and slow. Enjoy it while it lasts. However, Libra New Moon and solar eclipse energy packed on top of one another, it's not going to feel that great. And there's going to be a buildup come this weekend as well. Now, tomorrow we are going to see us go into those minor geomagnetic storm levels. High latitude positions will be able to see an aurora, meaning you are going to feel a lot of these physical symptoms. Also, if you don't know what these physical symptoms are, I have ascension symptoms that is pinned on my page just for you to understand and educate yourself now. The 4th, this is what we're going to talk about because even on the 5th, it is going to die down a little bit, but this is going to linger. And let me tell you, it's not going to feel that great. Now, October 4th, we're going to get into those strong to severe geomagnetic storm levels where we'll be able to see an aurora in these lower southern states. This is not normal. Yet again, watch my Carrington video. High latitude positions, you'll be able to see it 85%. Of course you will. We're going to get into those KP6, KP7 solar wind levels, meaning it is going to rise. It is going to increase, and you are going to have human zoomies. You are going to have anxiety. You're going to feel overwhelmed, and your body is going to go into survival mode. This isn't giving us much time to prepare. Like I said, it's going to be really hard to prepare for these type of things, especially if we have a really large radio blackout. I wouldn't even be able to make this video. But let's talk about this. Early to midday on the 4th, we are going to see the shock arrival of this X-class solar flare. Now, it is going to expecting to reach at least into minor G1, G2, strong to severe G3, G4 geomagnetic storm levels. We don't know. This is the second largest solar flare that we have had. So this is going to be unexpected. We're going to see exactly what this does. I will always keep you up to date, of course. Now, you will be able to see the Ring of Fire solar eclipse in remote eastern island or in parts of southern Chile or Argentina. There will also be a partial solar eclipse in Alaska. And this is the trajectory of that solar eclipse. So if you are in those areas, make sure you tag me. This new moon solar eclipse in Libra is going to have us teetering between our head and our hearts yet again. This is going to bring a pull of the past so strong that you want to react to it, but you shouldn't. Don't let this energy overwhelm you. It can be very overwhelming with all of this tug and pull, especially as we're receiving a lot more insights about the future. Basically, insights on which way you want to go. We're going to find the sweet spot, especially as we go through more of the day. We're going to be able to find some sort of alignment. Although these energies are going to make us feel really jittery, either in the best ways or the worst ways, but don't act upon impulse. The darkest parts of ourselves are being called out under all of the influences. Make sure you're not reacting. The new moon eclipse is a time of major karmic reset. The universe is wiping the energy clean. This is a gateway of a whole different reality. Anything is possible, and there is going to be sudden positive changes. We are clearing old patterns, we're letting go of toxic relationships, and we are starting a new abundant chapter. Expect sudden breakthroughs, unexpected money, and surprise job offers. Love ya.